With each new rising of the sun is the reminder that a start to a new beginning awaits. That if you are brave enough to walk through the darkness, you will discover the infinite power of the light. It's now morning in Augusta, Georgia, at Champions Retreat, a golf course built by champions for champions. But this weekend, it's home to another, recognized by their commitment for the greater good, encapsulating honor, duty, and enormous sacrifice.
All we can ever do for our heroes is remember them and remember what they did. They gave up everything for our country, for us.
These men fought bravely and sacrificed greatly for their country. We honor every man and woman who has ever worn the uniform of the United States of America.
Master Sergeant, retired United States Air Force, 25 years.
Sergeant Major Tim Stanton with the Army, 30 years of service.
United States Coast Guard, and I served just over 4 years.
I'm a United States Navy veteran, and I served 22 and a half years.
United States Marine Corps, Corporal, 6 years. Hoorah.
Less than 1% of the population served their country, and I was proud of the fact that I did.
There is no greater sacrifice than to lay down your life for a fellow brother.
The camaraderie and the brotherhood is probably the best thing about it.
The selflessness of being in the service and knowing that it's not about you, it's more about the people that you're serving.
I'm proud of all the people that I worked with, and when you work together, you can accomplish a lot.
It made me more humble serving my country. You gotta have a strong sense of purpose, right, and desire. I look at us as a team.
I don't think that I'm a hero any more than anybody else.
30-plus years sounds like a long time, but it sure went by fast.
It takes a lot of heart.
Loyalty, duty, respect.
It's a thing of service and sacrifice. That's one of the greatest things I've done in my life was to serve the United States Navy.
25 years is a long time. I will never do anything greater than support my country.
And that is why people who never met you, who never knew you, will always be grateful. Thank you for your service. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
The act of service can change lives. It's a pillar upon which human endeavors rise and fall, and at the heart can provide a path and purpose. The Veteran Golfers Association is the perfect illustration of this ideal. Founded in 2014, the VGA's sole mission of enriching the lives of veterans and their family members was born during some of the lowest points of a soldier's life. A path forward was forged amongst wounded veterans at Walter Reed Hospital in Washington, D.C., with the strategy that their recovery would be rooted in camaraderie and competition through the sport of golf. And now, the Veteran Golfers Association proudly presents the 2023 Armed Forces Cup from Champions Retreat.
I'm retired Colonel Steve Bristow from the Army, 63 years old. I'm fortunate enough to be the Army captain this year.
My name is John Hart. I'm the team captain at the Armed Forces Cup for the United States Marine Corps.
My name is Tracy Brown. I'm the captain of the Navy Armed Forces Cup.
I'm the team captain for the Air Force. My name is Howard Thurman. I'm a retired Master Sergeant.
My name is Bryce Hedin. I was in the United States Coast Guard, and I retired after 20 and a half years. I was #1 in points. I became the captain of the Coast Guard team this year.
The VGA has basically taken over my life. I've been in the VGA for 3 years, and I just have so many more new friends, like very close friends. In the last 3 years, I feel like I've known them forever. And that goes back to the bonds that we share as veterans. I never expected the magnitude of the camaraderie here.
The VGA has impacted me to the point where I play golf every weekend. And if it wasn't for the military, I probably would not have gotten into playing. It's an outlet that you cannot beat.
The Army won in 2022. My buddy Gerald Burton was the captain, and I think we're very competitive. We want to win and keep the streak alive for the Army.
Gerald Burton loves to call me and talk smack all the time.
My nature, I'm a very competitive person. We're friendly, but we want to win. There's no better team than the Air Force team.
The most exciting thing about the possibility of winning the VGA tournament this year for Team Navy is to beat the Army.
We want to win so bad. I have to listen to my neighbor who's on the Army team all year long that they won it last year.
Go Army. Who up?
Semper Fi.
Go Navy. Beat everyone.
Aim high.
Semper Paratus.
The VGA is a competitive golf league for veterans, including active duty, retired, and honorably discharged veterans and their families. Annually, the VGA hosts more than 1,000 golf tournaments for over 18,000 VGA members. Last year's edition of the Armed Forces Cup saw Team Army outlast the field to win the title. And with a championship comes championship hardware, delivered the night before the start of this year's tournament at the annual ring ceremony.
At this time, we're going to present the 2022 AFC champions with their national championship rings. So if you represent Team Army, sound off.
With Team Army setting their sights on repeating as champions, the Marines, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard are focused on taking the top spot on one of the best golf courses this country has to offer.
For interview, Mark. My name is Mike Reimer. I'm the Director of Golf here at Champions Retreat Golf Club. The property opened in 2005, and we're partners with Augusta National. We host the Augusta National Women's Amateur in the spring. We're the only golf club in the world that has Nicholas Palmer player designs on the same property. The Bluff 9 is the Nicholas 9. I would say the most challenging 9 on the property. And there's a lot of elevated greens, a lot of false fronts. You have to be really precise with your irons. It's a spectacular 9 holes. The Isle 9, that's the Palmer 9. That 9 goes out and is on the Savannah River. 6.5 of the holes are actually an island. So it's really interesting 9 holes. The Creek course, that's the Gary Player 9. I would say he holds the acclaim for having the hardest hole on the property, which is number 1 on Creek. But he also has probably, I think, one of the more beautiful holes on the property, which is number 9 Creek. It's a fantastic finishing hole. Having an event like this, like the VGA, the Armed Forces Cup here, again, puts us on the world stage, and I feel very fortunate and blessed to be here. We're excited for everything that's coming around the bend in the future.
When we return, the 2023 Armed Forces Cup officially tees off with the presentation of our nation's colors. Plus, you'll hear from 3-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer on how the VGA has impacted him and his family as they continue to support United States military veterans.
So I got this app from Experian. It's got everything I need to help my finances. Got my FICO score, raised it instantly. I even found new ways to save, all right here. Free and fast.
See all you can do with the free Experian app. Download it now.
Morning, Leah.
Hi. I went to Mattress Firm and got matched with the best mattress for me. I have 120 nights to decide if I like it. And they have the low price guarantee. I just had a great night of sleep.
The right mattress matters.
We'll find yours.
Mattress Firm. The new Dexcom G7 sends your glucose numbers to your phone and watch, so you can always see where you're heading without finger sticks. Dexcom G7, so easy to use you can manage your diabetes with confidence.
A bunch of dead guys made up work way back when.
It's our turn now, we'll make it up again.
We'll build freelance teams with more agility. The old way of working is deader than me.
We'll scale up and we'll scale down.
Before you're 6 feet underground.
Yes, this is how we work now.
if sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Shelves. Shelves that know what taste buds want. Shelves smart enough to see, sense, react, restock. So Caramel Swirl is always there for the taking.
What do you guys think came first, the chicken or the baby back rib?
Baby back ribs.
Chicken tenders all the way.
Baby back ribs.
Chicken tenders.
Baby back ribs.
Chicken tenders.
Baby
Chicken.
back
Chicken.
ribs.
Chicken.
Baby back.
Chicken tenders.
On second thought, it really depends which side of the buffet you start on.
I never thought I'd find a family like this again.
I never thought I'd feel pressure like this again.
I never thought I'd find anything like the military again. But then I found the VGA.
Welcome back to the 2023 Armed Forces Cup from Champions Retreat.
I'm Urban Meyer, and I'm a big supporter of our men and women who serve this country. And I grew up in a military family. My father was Army, my sister was Air Force. If you win a lot of games as a coach or catch touchdown passes, society now makes you a hero. The hero to me is someone who's completely service-based. They give up themselves for something greater. So to me, when you say a veteran, I say they're a hero. A lot of men and women who serve in our country, they experience things that most human beings do not experience. And then they come back here and at times they feel lost. Veterans Golf Association is an organization that was created several years ago, and the purpose is that it's a community. Create this family around the great game of golf. And I think we all have an obligation. Show the country what a veteran's all about. No greater way than the VGA. At the end of the day, there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. And the way I was raised, don't lose.
At Champions Retreat in Augusta, Georgia, 50 veterans eagerly await the start of the tournament. But before the first tee shot, a powerful demonstration of brotherhood and camaraderie was on full display.
Armed Forces Cup. Attention. Present arms. Post colors.
Banner get away for the land of the free and the home of the...
Welcome to the 2023 Armed Forces Cup.
With opening ceremonies complete, these veterans set off for the 36-hole Ryder Cup-style match play golf tournament, where the branch with the most points after 2 days of golf wins the Armed Forces Cup. And the favorites had to be the defending champions, Team Army. Founded in June of 1775, the Army is the United States' oldest branch, and its largest, with over 450,000 active personnel. Historically regarded as the world's premier land fighting force, they know a thing or two about winning. At this year's Armed Forces Cup, they'll be led by a first-time captain, Steve Bristow, who knew that back-to-back titles depended on ace golfer Tim Stanton and the ever-resilient Gerald Burton II.
States Army, stand up!
My name is Colonel Retired Steve Bristow. I was in the U.S. Army for a little over 30 years.
I am Sergeant Major Tim Stanton with the Army, 30 years of service.
I decided to join the Army back when I was a young man. It was a way to get some money to go to college, which was my ultimate plan. I enjoyed the Army, so I wound up staying.
I left Tucson, Arizona, and went straight to Germany. after basic training and AIT. So it was life-changing for me, and then just a big culture change, too.
I enlisted in the Army as a young infantryman. I got commissioned, and I started out as an armor officer. And then I moved to communications. After that, went out to various assignments around the world. Germany once, several times overseas for the Gulf War, Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan.
Gerald Burton, 14 years in the Army. My father was in the Army. His father was in the Army. His two brothers were in the Army. It was a path set out for me. So when I went in the Army, I did 3 tours in Iraq. My first 2 deployments, 1993 and 95, were planned deployments, so we knew those in advance. Being overseas, away from your family, is tough. You know, you get up every day and you don't know what your day is going to be at the end of it. My last deployment was in 2007. I actually volunteered. So my unit, we did convoy security. 2007, we were out on a mission, and my truck was hit with an IED. And caused traumatic brain injury to me.
And then what happened?
But you know, I go to the VA and I see people a lot worse than I am, so I'm just thankful that I can do what I do. The VGA is incredible. You know, the VGA's gave me life. So last year, I was a team captain for Army at the Armed Forces Cup, and leading my team to victory was one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life. And I've met people from every state, and I've got friends everywhere. And I mean, I love these guys. I love the VGA, what it represents.
Gerald is a good friend. He's just a kind, generous man. Thinks of others first before himself. I couldn't think of anybody I'd rather have be here with me as my captain's pick.
Gerald's an awesome guy. I mean, Gerald was our team captain last year. He's on our team this year, and we're going to have a good time again.
In 2021, I was diagnosed with bone cancer. So now I got a different outlook on life. Every day I wake up, it's a blessing. Just want to live my life and be happy and try to make others happy. And hopefully this year, just as important, we're going to keep that Armed Forces Cup trophy in the Army.
Go Army. Hooah.
Hooah. Go Army.
Go Army. Hooah.
The reigning champions didn't disappoint on day one, leading all teams with 6.5 points. Steve Bristow, Tim Stanton, and Gerald Burton contributed to 3 of the 6 individual wins for Team Army. But with a final day of golf to be played, every service branch still had a shot, including the battle-tested Marines. Founded in November of 1775, the Marines are the smallest branch in the Department of Defense. Over the years, they've won many of America's greatest battles, such as Iwo Jima and Guadalcanal, earning a reputation as America's most disciplined fighting force. This commitment to discipline carried them to an Armed Forces Cup title in 2021. For John Hart, Aaron Ragosi, and Bernie Sampson, the hope was that it would do the same in Augusta.
Marine Corps, sound off! Hurrah!
Aaron Ragosi, United States Marine Corps, Corporal, 6 years.
My name is John Hart. I served in the United States Marine Corps from 1975 to 1981.
Watching one of the State of the Union addresses with Ronald Reagan, I said, Dad, what are the guys standing behind there? Who are they? He said, those are United States Marines. I said, that's what I want to do right there. I want to guard the president.
My dad was a disciplinarian. He said, you're going in the service. It wasn't too bad until I got to boot camp because I had long blonde hair, and they picked me out right away, and I was Goldilocks. And I got beat on pretty good by the drill instructors. You got to obey what they say.
Your next adventure is your MOS school, which mine was engineering school. Learning explosives, TNT, dynamite, landmine warfare. Deployed to Guam and South Korea to travel the world and to do humanitarian work to third world countries that don't have fresh water, don't have electricity, don't have schools, was more than I could ever ask for.
Bernie Sampson, and I was in the Marine Corps for a year and 11 months. Well, I got drafted and I figured I was going to be going to Vietnam. I was there for a total of 17 days, and then I spent 17 months in the hospital. We took 75 rockets that night, and I got hit on the second one. It blew my hip joint out, and that fused like a broken bone. So I can't bend it at the hip. The leg is 2.5 inches shorter than the other one, but I've lived with it now for 55 years, so I'm still here. I don't think that I'm a hero any more than anybody else, really. I would go back again. I did what I thought I had to do, so I don't consider myself that much of a hero.
Good ball, Bernie!
Back then, I used to have, a single-digit handicap now, but, 55 years and 50 operations, it's not quite that anymore. But I still enjoy it.
I love the game of golf because of the people you meet. It's a lot of fun. But if you ain't first, you're last.
Well, run like you stole something. I have to listen to my neighbor who's on the Army team all year long that they won it last year. I'll be out there laughing and smiling, but inside it's churning. I want to win.
We won it the first year, and, we're going to win it this year, so, 2 out of 3 is not bad.
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi, brother.
The one-time champion Marines ended day one with 5 total points. Hart, Ragosi, and Sampson all lost their individual matches, but are still in contention heading into the final day of competition. Just around the corner, we will hear from Army veteran and motivational speaker Cedric King about his unique perspective on honor and sacrifice, plus a look at Army's biggest rival, the Navy, as the 2023 Armed Forces Cup continues on FS1.
If New Heineken Silver was a riveting Viking saga.
Last the 12th, your family tortured my first wife and stole my second favorite goat. Now you want to marry my daughter. Okay.
All the taste, no bitter endings. Crisp and refreshing, Heineken Silver.
With Downy Infusions, let the scent set the mood. Feel the difference with Downy.
Let's watch some crazy stuff, yo!
That clock is not slowing down.
Job well done.
If this doesn't give you the proof of an afterlife, I don't know what does.
I want more, and I'm not gonna apologize for it.
You always bring the fun. Things are gonna get a little wild.
Max. Plans start at $9.99 a month.
Hey, also, I just downloaded the Experian app because I wanted to check my FICO score, but it does so much more. This thing shows you your FICO score, you can get your credit card recommendations, and it shows you ways to save money.
Do so much more than get your FICO score. Download the Experian app now.
What's it gonna take to stop this U.S. team?
We can steal their place.
It's quite simple, really. You train for 4 years in an AR simulations that mimics their every move.
Yeah.
Initializing crystal done.
What's it gonna take to stop this U.S. team?
They're faster, slower, with style.
Good luck with that.
Do you shop for vitamins at Walmart? Force Factor products powerfully improve your health, but they're also delicious, easy to use, and affordable. That's why Force Factor is now the #1 best-selling herbs and supplements brand at Walmart. Unleash your potential with Force Factor at Walmart.
This is Fubo TV. It's a better way to watch live news, shows, and sports without cable. On the only live TV streaming service rated #1 in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Try free at FuboTV.com.
The Subway series is elevating your favorite sub.
Why mess with the sweet onion teriyaki, Chuck?
Man, this ain't messing. It's perfecting with marinated chicken and double cheese.
Sweet and savory. Kind of like you and me, Chuck.
Bye, Peyton. Try to refresh favorites at Subway today.
I wonder if Instacart can tackle this honey-do list. Need paint for the deck, gear for the kids' track meet, and the essentials. Honey-do list completed. Saturday saved. Visit instacart.com or download the app and get free delivery on your first order.
Fox Sports is proud to present the 2023 Armed Forces Cup from Champions Retreat.
My name is Cedric King, Master Sergeant, United States Army, and served for 20 years and 1 month. I come in the military in 1995. We go to Iraq in 2003. That's my first deployment. It's the first time I get to serve my country in combat. You get to see what you're really made out of when you go to war. My last deployment was in 2012, and I step on an IED, blows both my legs off, come out of the coma 8 days later, only to find out that the very thing that I feared was actually what was happening. But that's also when my second life, this new life, began again. Listen, let me tell you, this right here is a symbol of, it's a reminder that I did not have to quit when things got tough. I'm learning how to love this just as much or more than what I had before. In the military, we thrive on teamwork. And when we get out of the military, we are separated from our teams. When you're in a room full of veterans, even though we may not have served together, now you're my brother. And we're together for 4 or 5 hours, golfing, laughing. It may keep a vet alive another day. That's why you have to have organizations like these. It's not about necessarily the golf. You get to be yourself finally. That's something a lot of vets haven't done in a long time.
The Army-Navy rivalry is one steeped in tradition and fierce competition. Since 1890, the midshipmen and Black Knights have been battling on the gridiron, fueled by a profound respect for one another. No matter the playing field, the Army-Navy rivalry embodies the best competition has to offer. Founded in October of 1775, the Navy's core values of honor, courage, and commitment fused together to protect economic prosperity on the world's interconnected oceans. With over 300,000 active personnel sailing on 280-plus ships, these sailors know a thing or two about winning. And at this year's Armed Forces Cup, Team Navy was poised to turn their close-knit brotherhood into a championship.
Navy, sound off!
My name is Bob Good. I'm a United States Navy veteran, having served 22 years, and I retired as a Navy lieutenant. I decided to join the Navy because it offered an education, it offered a chance to travel, it offered a chance to see the world. I was a cook in the Navy. My first assignment was the USS Midway, home ported in Yokosuka, Japan. So you had a little kid from a rural Virginia town, thousands of miles away overseas, so that was quite interesting.
Debbie Malachowski, Petty Officer Second Class, 3 years in the Navy. The first time I tried to go to boot camp, I didn't weigh enough, and I went to college for a year, then I went back, gained the weight, and they said, all right, you're good to go. And after I got out of boot camp, I went to A school, which is training. It was supposed to be 6 weeks. I finished in 14 days and got promoted from there and went to San Diego and was stationed at NAS North Island. I loved the camaraderie that I had with all the other people that I served with. Less than 1% of the population served their country. And I was proud of the fact that I did and that I wore the uniform.
My name is Tracy Brown. I
was in the Navy's oldest search and rescue helicopter squadron. I grew up in the Navy. My dad is retired Command Master Chief, and it's almost, in a way, the only thing we knew. The discipline, self-determination that I learned in the military actually helped me in my professional career post-military.
Good shot.
I started working in recording studios. I met Snoop Dogg and recorded around 500 songs with him. All of that comes back to my military experience. If I didn't have the discipline and self-determination, I probably would have never even believed that I could do that.
The mission of the VGA is to bring camaraderie and sportsmanship through the game of golf to veterans and their family members.
I've met so many people playing in the VGA. To hear other people's stories and know that there's a common bond between all of us, it's been wonderful.
Well, if you don't play golf, you don't understand that this is the toughest sport there is, without question. So it's just another challenge for me, another challenge in life.
When you hit that one perfect shot, it's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of ups and downs in golf, but that joy and that passion for golf has not changed. You take each moment and you reflect on it and say, I think it's made me a better person at the end of the day.
After day one, the Navy were 2.5 points back of rival and tournament leader, Army. Debbie Melikoski, Jay Siemens, Garrett Caston, and Durain Morton each picked up a win and 1 point. Team Navy heads into the final day needing key wins in order to make a meaningful charge toward the lead. Still to come, Nate Boyer, retired United States Army Green Beret and former Seattle Seahawk, sits down to discuss his passion for helping veterans and how golf provides the perfect outlet. Plus, Air Force veteran Chris Benjo Benjamin explains how the VGA and golf saved his life.
My relationship with my credit cards wasn't good. I got into debt in college, and no matter how much I paid, it followed me everywhere. Between the high interest, the fees, felt trapped. So I broke up with my credit card debt and consolidated it into a low-rate personal loan from SoFi. I finally feel like a grown-up.
Ditch credit card fees and high interest. Borrow up to $100K with a SoFi personal loan. Go to SoFi.com to view your rate. SoFi, get your money right.
Looking for a smarter way to mop? Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop. An all-in-one cleaning tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. Our new cleaning pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips that absorb and lock dirt away. And it has a 360-degree swivel head that goes places a regular mop just can't. So you can clean your home faster than ever. Don't mop harder, mop smarter with the new Swiffer Power Mop.
On your birthday in New Orleans, strangers pin you with cash. Makes no sense, but neither does a Popeye's blackened chicken sandwich. No breading, all Cajun flavor. Happy birthday, Phil. See you tomorrow. We don't make sense, we make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
If you just set out to build an electric car, that's all it will ever be. An electric car. But the Polestar 2 is something more. Every detail designed to be quietly distinctive. Polestar 2, the way electric cars should be. Visit Polestar.com to test drive and order today.
A bunch of dead guys made up work way back when.
It's our turn now, we'll make it up again.
We'll build freelance teams with more agility. The old way of working is deader than me.
We'll scale up and we'll scale down.
Before you're 6 feet underground. This is how we
Are we close?
Turn left in 4 miles.
No.
¿Cuáles son tus intenciones con mi nieto?
What are your intentions with my grandson?
Life's little problems. Fixed. On Google Pixel, the only phone engineered by Google. Get the new Google Pixel 7a for free. Plus, get Pixel Buds A-Series 50% off.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. Stop.
Leaves of 3, leave them be. The cans of 6, take your pick. And head for the mountains of...
This is a special presentation of the 2023 Armed Forces Cup from Champions Retreat.
My name is Nate Boyer, Staff Sergeant, United States Army Special Forces from 2005 to 2015. When 9/11 happened, it kind of got me thinking, you know, what is my place in the world? What can I do? I wanted to fight for those that can't fight for themselves. Something that's unique about the Special Forces that I don't think a lot of people understand is that everything we do, every mission is by, with, and through indigenous forces. So you have to come to your job with a sense of humility and understanding and a willingness to listen to people with different customs, cultures, ideas, beliefs. We find that we're far more similar than we are different anyway. To play in the NFL as a 34-year-old rookie was crazy. I was asked to lead the team out of the tunnel with the American flag, and I just started bawling. I mean, there was a lot of emotions going on getting ready to play that game, and I owe it all to my time in the military, I really do. And golf is the ultimate test in so many ways. If just a little bit of your attention is somewhere else, things going sideways, and it kind of relates to life in a lot of ways. And sports have always been an escape for me, and I think golf is one of the greatest escapes of all. Every man and woman that made it here, that's playing in the Armed Forces Cup, and you're already a champ. If you're getting to play out here, go Army, beat Navy. If you don't beat the Air Force or the Marine Corps or the Coast Guard, I guess that's okay, but just beat Navy.
Co-founder of Merging Vets and Players, Nate Boyer shares a unique bond with veterans competing at the Armed Forces Cup. A belief that anything is possible provides a purpose which fuels the day-to-day aspect of their lives. Founded in September of 1947, the mission of the United States Air Force is to fly, fight, and win. Equipped with over 320,000 active personnel and over 5,000 aircraft, these airmen play a critical role in securing and protecting the freedom of the United States. Led by first-time team captain Howard Thurman, the Air Force has set its sights on winning the only way they know how, together.
United States Air Force, sound off!
My name is Howard Thurman. I'm a retired Master Sergeant from the United States Air Force, and I served 20 years, 5 months, and 1 day.
My name's Rob James. I am a Master Sergeant, retired United States Air Force, 25 years.
When I enlisted in 1983, I was stationed at March Air Force Base in California, and I had never been out of the state of Mississippi before.
I joined the Air Force, and I actually signed up when I was 17 years old. Because I was 17 and not of legal age yet, my parents had to basically sign off their son to go to the service.
I worked in ground control, where we control fighters on targets, and out in the airspace, you have to be very precise in what you're doing.
I've been literally almost everywhere in the world. The invasion of Panama with Desert Storm, Desert Shield, every place that has a desert, I've still got sand in my boots.
My name is Chris Benjamin. I served in the Air Force for 20 years. My job in the Air Force when I initially joined was morale welfare. When I first came in, I used to have to give mortuary briefings to next of kins. If someone got killed in a car accident, you know, it was part of my duties to go out to do the initial identification along with a service member that knew them, and then we would have to go and brief the family. You know, part of that experience is something that you just don't ever forget, you know, that stays in your memory. There were some nights to where, you know, I would sleep with the lights on for weeks or months. That's part of it, of my PTSD.
The best part about the VGA is being able to play golf against brothers and sisters of the same cloth. I have met lifelong friends from all over the nation because of the VGA.
The VGA has impacted me to the point where I play golf every weekend. And if it wasn't for the military, I probably would not have gotten into playing.
You meet so many different people and you'd be amazed of how your stories are similar. I go on a golf course and for 4 or 5 hours, you know, that's kind of like my sanctuary. It's like I used to say on active duty, I may not be the best, but I'm always trying my best. And I just like to leave it all on the golf course.
After day one, Team Air Force found themselves at the bottom of the standings, but only 3 points off the lead. Bobby Boykin, Alton Levine, and Philip Ritchie all earned wins, but will still need some help if Air Force wants to make a charge on the final day of competition. When we return, retired Army Captain Josh Payton opens up about his deployment to Iraq and how recovering from a vehicle rollover at Walter Reed Hospital spawned the idea for the Veteran Golfers Association. Plus, Team Coast Guard posts an impressive Day 1 score at the Armed Forces Cup.
Chevy Silverado has what it takes to do it all. With up to 13 camera views and the Z71 off-road package.
You okay? Yeah.
Any truck can help you make a living. This one helps you build a life. Chevy Silverado.
Money stresses me out. So I got this Experian app, and now I'm checking my FICO score. I got a new credit card, and I'm even finding ways to save. Finally, getting smart about money feels really good.
See all you can do with the free Experian app. Download it now.
Tourists. Tourists that turn into scientists. Tourists photographing thousands of miles of remote coral reefs that can be analyzed by AI in real time. So researchers can identify which areas are at risk and help life underwater flourish.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's no big deal. It's just something I've been working on.
Pizza lovers know Marco's is the real deal. Real fresh dough, real signature sauce, 3 real cheeses topped with real meats. Now, get another real deal. Unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it.
The only thing I regret about my life is that I did what everyone else did at the time. I hired local talent. If I knew about Upwork, I would have hired actually talented people from all over the world, instead of talentless people from all over my house.
Grandpa!
This is how we work now.
Are you Zillow-ing your boss's house to see what she paid? Awkward. Well, now you can Zillow a home loan for your own house. Now who's the boss?
This weekend, the USFL playoffs take over prime time.
What we've been waiting for!
Tonight on NBC, Canton is home to the Northern Championship game.
Playoff football, man!
Then, tomorrow on Fox, Birmingham will be rocking as the defending champion Stallions look to take the Southern Division crown.
All the way to the house!
The USFL playoffs in prime time this weekend on NBC and Fox.
The Veteran Golfers Association and Fox Sports bring you the 2023 Armed Forces Cup.
I'm Josh Payton. I'm the president and CEO of the Veteran Golfers Association. I was a captain in the United States Army, an infantry officer, and I served 20 years in the United States military. I was in 3 deployments to Iraq. In 2011, I was involved in a vehicle rollover incident where I nearly lost my right hand. We were on a security convoy detail protecting the Secretary of Defense, Robert Gates at the time, and my driver lost control on a sandy road, moving at high rates of speed. Our up-armored Humvee flipped 15 times. I was reaching up to try to block myself from flying out of the window, and it was at that moment that the window was shattering and my hand got caught. These 2 fingers were hanging on by a couple of tendons, and I spent 2 years going through several hand surgeries to save my right hand from amputation. It was during that time that I met other soldiers that were severely injured and wounded. They were using golf as a recovery tool. We talked about how we could get more veterans involved in the game of golf. So in 2014, Joe Cayley and I decided that we're going to found the Veteran Golfers Association. You know, so many veterans come up to me and say how the VGA has given them something to live for and something to look forward to, and that is such a humbling thing. If you're interested in learning more about the Veteran Golfers Association or joining our VGA family, reach out to us on social media at VGA Golf, or you can go to our website at vgagolf.org, and hopefully we'll see you on the links very soon.
The success of the Veteran Golfers Association has been a result of the tireless dedication from volunteer leaders all across the country, where high standards are a way of life. And for the Coast Guard, the depths to which they hold theirs are as true to the ones they are sworn to protect. Founded in 1790, the Coast Guard is responsible for patrolling 95,000 miles of U.S. coast, searching ships, and performing rescue missions. The Coast Guard is the smallest branch of the military and a member of the United States Department of Homeland Security. Last year, the Coast Guard finished at the bottom of the standings, but have retooled in their quest to become champions.
United States Coast Guard, sound off!
My name is Bryce Hadeen. I was in the United States Coast Guard, and I served for 20.5 years.
Petty Officer First Class Travis Lynch. I served 8.5 years.
I decided to join the Coast Guard because Vietnam War had just got over, and I knew I liked to rescue people and save people.
It was the best option for me out of high school. It got me to see the country.
I was stationed in Portsmouth, Virginia. We had a Coast Guard cutter Cuyahoga that was hit and sank, and there was 10 Coast Guardsmen that had perished, and we had to bring all 10 bodies up and send them on shore to the mortuary.
Christopher Gackholm, United States Coast Guard. I was a fireman. I served just over 4 years. I have a older brother who's a fireman, and he really inspired me to take on a career of service. I enlisted in 2014. I wanted to go do aviation maintenance technician A school. The day before school was set to start, I suffered a cardiac arrest. Luckily, my shipmate, fireman Cook, saved my life and performed CPR, attached an AED to my chest, and delivered the shock that needed to defibrillate my heart. So I woke up in the hospital. I was basically told that this is what happened to me. I have an implantable device that kind of keeps me alive. I like to say I'm like Iron Man. I was planning on being a lifer, is what they say, doing your 20 years, getting out, retiring, starting a new career after the military, but that was cut short for me, so.
When I got out of the military, that's when golf kind of changed for me, and I started playing more, started being more competitive, and started my own golf academy.
Yeah, the VGA has allowed me to play golf courses all over the country and meet a lot of good friends.
That's what golf is all about, getting people together, having fun, doing something competitive.
We've had the same purpose. We served in the military. We bonded over that, but now we're bonding over golf.
Honestly, I feel like the Coast Guard is kind of the butt of a lot of these jokes around here with these other service branches, so I want to take it to these guys.
Team captain Bryce Hadeen and Chris Gackholm both earned victories, along with 4 other teammates, to combine for 6 total points. And at the conclusion of day 1, the Coast Guard sit in 2nd place, well positioned as the surprise team to make a run on the final day of competition. Coming up next, history from the Champions Retreat is made during the thrilling final day of the tournament. Find out which branch takes home the title, next and only on FS1.
Tonight, I am so excited. The U.S. men's national team look to defend their crown. The confidence, the swagger. The CONCACAF Gold Cup. USA Jamaica. Coverage begins tonight at 9 Eastern on FS1.
Using Credible.com, I got personalized student loan rates from multiple lenders. It was easy to compare and get the best deal.
Checking her rates only took 3 minutes, and co-signing through Credible was a breeze.
Visit Credible.com and compare student loans today.
Do you shop for vitamins at Walmart? Force Factor products powerfully improve your health, but they're also delicious, easy to use, and affordable. That's why Force Factor is now the #1 best-selling herbs and supplements brand at Walmart. Unleash your potential with Force Factor at Walmart.
I got this $1,000 camera for only $41 on DealDash.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56.
I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Listen up. Viagra works. That's why Roman offers Viagra and the generic option 100% online. Connect with a provider today to find out if treatment is right for you at ro.co/Roman.
I never thought I'd find a family like this again.
I never thought I'd feel pressure like this again.
I never thought I'd find anything like the military again. But then I found the VGA.
Whenever you're hungry, there's a deal on the Subway app. Buy 1 foot long, get one 50% off in the Subway app today.
Now that's a deal worth celebrating.
Man, what are you doing? Get it before it's gone on the Subway app.
Is a new title really necessary?
Sir, after bestowing the gift of renting ease to millions, a bump is in order.
Okay, let's see. Oh, hey, what's this?
Lord of the Lease.
I'm not a hat person.
Yeah, no. Emperor of Renterers.
That's funny, no.
Rentar the Trusted.
I don't like it.
Oh, okay. Master of the Rental Sphere.
Wow. No, is it too much? Apartments.com. A place to find a place.
What do you guys think came first, the chicken or the baby back rib?
Baby back ribs.
Yes. Chicken tenders all the way.
Baby back ribs.
Chicken tenders.
Baby back ribs.
Chicken tenders.
Baby
chicken,
back
chicken,
ribs.
Chicken.
Baby back.
Chicken tenders.
I'm gonna go get some pie.
Welcome back to a special presentation of the 2023 Armed Forces Cup from Champions Retreat. Entering the final day of competition, Army sat atop the leaderboard, but with only 2.5 points separating 4 of the 5 teams. Every captain knew the Armed Forces Cup was up for grabs.
We've got big shoes to fill from last year. We're looking forward to retaining that title.
We did pull away with 4 wins yesterday. We definitely believe we have just as good a chance as anyone else out here.
We're in last place, and we're going to need all of the points. We're going to have to win all 10 matches to achieve our goal.
We had 3 matches go to the last hole. We could have been up near the top. When we win this tournament, it's bragging rights for the whole year.
Unfortunately, team captain John Hart and the Marines only secured 3.5 points as the Marines finished in last place, failing to complete their goal of winning 2 titles in 3 years. Bob Good of the Navy patrolled the waters of Champions Retreat, battling all day to pick up a well-deserved one of the 5 team points. It's as the saying goes, once a sailor, always a sailor.
I got a little wet. I can't say that I'm disappointed in that shot right there. I think that's one of the best bogeys I've ever made in my life.
Over on calmer waters, Debbie Melikoski continued her winning ways, putting Navy squarely in contention with a combined 9 points. Team Air Force responded to a lackluster day 1 by charging up the leaderboard, as team captain Howard Thurman and Chris Benjamin secured important points, injecting confidence heading into the latter part of the day.
My day started off really bad. I was contemplating going home. But on number 9, it turned around. And 18, it got better, and I won my match. So I'm a happy camper right now.
I was never down.
But she's never beaten me.
I never played you.
It's on.
I know we started the day in first. I don't even look at the leaderboard. I just need to play. So that's where we're at. I don't know where we're at, but we're just going to come out and keep going after it. Hopefully we're on top at the end of the day.
Well, Tim, your team started the day out strong with a win from Captain Steve Bristow, putting your team in prime position for a repeat. But before the celebration begins, they'd need a strong finish from you to hold off the rest of the field, specifically Team Coast Guard. After surprising the tournament field with 6 points on day 1, Team Coast Guard struggled early on day 2, earning only 2.5 points from their first 8 golfers. But after Michael Bradshaw defeated Robert Hedin, ending Navy's hopes at the championship, Team Coast Guard landed just 1 point back of the lead and tied with Team Air Force for second. With only 3 pairings yet to finish, Team Army, Air Force, and Coast Guard each had 1 golfer remaining, setting up a dramatic finish that would either end in a playoff or Army celebrating with back-to-back championships.
I didn't know until I came up and saw the scorecard. I know that if I win, I get a full point. What we're trying to do is beat Army.
Boykin outputted his counterpart, lifting Air Force into a tie for the lead with Army. All attention shifted to the 17th hole, where Coast Guard's Chris Gatcombe was 1 up, but after missing a crucial putt, found himself tied heading into the final hole. After a strong tee shot on 18, Gatcombe went into the water, but quickly rebounded to win the hole, creating a 3-way tie atop the leaderboard. However, if Tim Stanton could win on 18, his 1 point would put Army on top for good. After falling into an early deficit, he narrowly lost the hole, forcing the first 3-team playoff in Armed Forces Cup history.
We had an exciting finish to the 2023 Armed Forces Cup. We will have a sudden death playoff on hole 18. I'm going to ask the team captains to come up and select their pick.
I select Tim Stanton to represent Team Army. Go up.
Team Air Force chooses Rob James.
Team Coast Guard selects Chris Gatcombe.
Good luck to all the players. Please report to hole number 18.
Kind of came down to the wire there. Looking forward to playing hopefully just this hole.
I don't think it's ever come to this, but what a great way to end an awesome week.
The Coast Guard normally doesn't get a lot of love, so hopefully we could put it on the map.
I had been undefeated until today, so it gives me the opportunity to win it for the team.
Tim Stanton is one of my best friends. Love that guy. He's going down.
I'm ready to get this thing going. I'm gonna stop talking to you. Let's roll.
Chris Gatcombe took the first tee shot and landed in the right rough near the trees. Army's Tim Stanton stepped up next, hitting an excellent first shot down the middle of the fairway. Air Force's Rob James followed suit, landing almost identically near Stanton. With their second shot on the par 5 18th, all 3 golfers went for the green. Gatcombe came up just short, while Stanton landed next to the fairway bunker, where James' ball ended up buried. On his 3rd stroke, James nearly hit his shot into the course kitchen, which narrowly avoided a penalty. But James responded with a spectacular 4th shot, landing his ball on the green in an amazing display of short game prowess. With his 3rd shot, Gatcombe's pitch landed way short of the hole, leaving him with a long putt for birdie. Not to be fazed, Stanton hit an impressive wedge shot just 5 feet from the hole, setting up a chance at birdie. With the final moments of the tournament approaching, James and Gatcombe's par putts missed the mark. Both men finished the playoff with a bogey. After Stanton failed to convert on his birdie chance, he stepped up for a 6-inch putt for par to win the tournament.
I'm proud to present the 2023 Armed Forces Cup to United States Army.
It was a hard-fought battle from first hole to the 18th hole, and that's what this is all about. There is nothing more precious than having that brotherhood and sisterhood that we have throughout the military. The world needs to know about the VGA.
Being back-to-back champions is incredible. We're going to change the name from the Armed Forces Cup to the Army Cup. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep it.
History was made in Augusta, Georgia. Team Army extended their bragging rights for another calendar year, fulfilling their promise to repeat as back-to-back champions. As these veterans conclude their weekend from Champions Retreat, the brotherhood and camaraderie will carry on well into the future, solidifying a special bond that can only be built through competition at the Armed Forces Cup. The Veteran Golfers Association and Fox Sports thank you for watching this edition of the 2023 Armed Forces Cup from Champions Retreat.